Okay, now we always know that Trump plays chess while the Democrats play checkers. Now, if the shutdown lasts over 41 days, Trump can make permanent all the cuts he wanted to make with Doge. And the Democrats can't do anything about it. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your brother Wise. I appreciate you guys pulling up today. We got to talk about it, man, because obviously we are, 30 plus days into the shutdown, and we still aren't closer to a conclusion here. But I want to share this with you because the president last week, right before the weekend, he put a tweet out or, put out a post on Truth Social stating that the filibuster should just be terminated. Not just for the shutdown, he states, but for everything else. We will get all of our common sense policies approved, voter ID, anyone, and make America great again. I'm sure you guys can see the tweet, and I'll allow you guys to finish that. I want to play this clip let me play this clip for you from the press secretary, and then we'll get back to the filibuster very quickly. Check this out.
Let's talk about what we are dealing with here. Radical left Democrats who have shut our government down and held the American people hostage for 32 days in a row. We have air traffic controller shortages all over this country. Half of our nation's major airports are suffering from severe delays as we head into the busiest travel months of the season. We have 500,000 federal workers who are going unpaid. SNAP benefits have expired. Only because of President Trump finding a legal maneuver are our troops continuing to be getting paid. If it were up to the Democrats, our military and our law enforcement would not be receiving their paychecks like the rest of the federal government workforce. And Democrats are not showing any sign of wanting to reopen the government. They want to give taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal aliens. These are crazed people that President Trump and Republicans are having to deal with. And that's why President Trump has said Republicans need to get tough, they need to get smart, and they need to use this option to get rid of the filibuster, to reopen the government and do right by the American public. We know, Maria, based on the polling and based on common sense, that the vast majority of this country wants the government reopened. That's what President Trump is willing to do. That's what he wants, and he's willing to use any lever to make it happen.
And I understand where she is coming from, and to an extent, I understand where the president is coming from as well. And I get it. The President Trump, wants to end the filibuster to pass this budget. But we got to hold up for a quick second. We got to, because in my opinion, it's a bad move. It's a bad move. It does, to an extent, sounds like strength, but it would actually be giving up leverage. The filibuster is the only thing keeping DC from turning into a single party demolition derby. But there is a smarter play here, and it's pure genius. And like the lady in the clip that opened this video up, there's a little known rule that states that a federal shutdown can only last 41 days. After that, the president gets to decide who's essential and who's not. Translation, basically, the president could legally fire all the bureaucrats that's been sabotaging him dating back to 2016. He could do it. Now, think about this. The federal workforce costs over $200 billion a year in salaries alone. That's not including the benefits and everything that comes along with it. So you cut even 1/3 of that and you're saving $65 billion just like that overnight. That's how you shrink the swamp. Not by breaking the Senate's rules. I'm not for that, but by playing the system smarter than they do. Let's forget about nuking the filibuster. Let's forget about that. Let's just run out the clock. And then the president can, do whatever it is that he feels like is necessary. Hey, make the shutdown the strategy. And when the lights go off in DC, that's when the establishment finally gets exposed. Let me know what your thoughts are about that in the comment section. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep going.
This post last night about the filibuster, we just want this to end. They do not deny that the Democrats themselves, that they are prolonging this pain. They admit to it. They said they're using it as leverage. The big question everybody needs to ask this morning is why? They're trying to appeal to the radical left Marxist rise in their party. That is sum total what this entire thing is about. It is infuriating to us.
I think it's also Trump derangement syndrome. They don't want to give y'all anything. How much weight do these four airlines have on their decisions, on the Democrats' decisions? I'm sure they have lobbyists that are talking to them saying, y'all need to just sign this clean CR.
Yeah, it's the airlines. It's also the unions. The largest federal employee union, as y'all have reported, came out a couple days ago and said, please pass the clean CR. They represent 820,000 federal employees. That's supposed to be a constituency, the unions that the Democrats claim as their own. Look, you have more unions coming out. You had the head of the Teamsters out there.
Yeah, for the life of me, I'm not really sure exactly why unions continue to support the Democrat Party, especially at this point when they've shown themselves to solely care about their grasp on power. They don't necessarily care about their constituents, the people that actually put them in office. But I want to check this next clip out from Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, and then, we'll keep going from there.
I'm sure you saw President Trump's tweet last night suggesting that it's time for Senate Republicans to blow up the filibuster in order to get the continuing resolution passed. I know in the past you've been reluctant to encourage your Senate colleagues to do that or not. Are you aligned with the president now that it's time for them to take this dramatic step?
The president's been very busy. He was in Asia doing all these trade agreements. I've been a little busy, as you know. We haven't spoken since he returned. I sent him a text earlier this morning. I saw that as well. What you're seeing is an expression of the president's anger at the situation. He is as angry as I am and the American people are about this madness. And he just desperately wants the government to be reopened so that all these resources can flow to the people who need it so much. Look, I'll just say this in general. As I've said many times about the filibuster, it's not my call. I don't have a say in this. It's a Senate chamber issue. We don't have that in the House, as you know. But the filibuster has traditionally been viewed as a very important safeguard. If the shoe is on the other foot, I don't think our team would like it. The Democrats, look, they've said what they would do. They would pack the Supreme Court. They would make Puerto Rico and D.C. states. They would ban firearms. They would do all sorts of things that would be very harmful for the country. And the safeguard in the Senate has always been the filibuster. But again, not my issue, not something I get to even weigh in on. My opinion on this is not relevant. It's the senators. But I think that it just is another expression of the frustration, of the pressure that is being felt, the anger by the president and by me and all of us that we're in this situation at all. Do your basic job. I'm going to say this again. We have put zero.
He was going to finish out and just saying that, hey, there's been zero additions to this particular bill here for the continuing resolution. There's been zero, Republican-led bills or something along those lines that would keep Democrats from voting on this. This is simply a power play. But I am with, I understand where Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, is. I mean, one, the House has absolutely nothing to do with this. They don't have a filibuster rule in the House. But I am one of those people out there, and I'm almost for certain that I'm not in the minority, in this thinking, but I'm pro keeping the filibuster. And here's why. I got to break this down for you, just plain and simple. And one, let's talk about the filibuster itself. I mean, it's one of the few things left that keeps the Senate from just turning into a political mosh pit. Like I said earlier, it would get really crazy if the filibuster was eliminated. It's the rule that says you can't just bulldoze your agenda through because you've got 51 votes. You've got to build consensus. You have to actually have conversations. You got to talk to the other side. It's mandatory. Now imagine if they take that away. Whoever's in power can just do whatever they want to do. No breaks, no negotiations, no accountability. They could just do whatever. Democrats could push through radical climate, gender, or voting reforms overnight. And then 2 years later, the Republicans could take control and erase it all. Just like that. Boom, it's out of here. That's not what I would call stability. That's not what I would call stability. That is what you would call chaos, political chaos. And honestly, it's a trickle-down effect. We're all going to deal with it when you got this type of situation. I mean, it's essentially, political pickleball or political ping pong, essentially. Back and forth, back and forth. The founders built the Senate to slow things down, to cool off the passions of the moment. If you killed the filibuster, you basically destroy that safeguard. And once that door is open, It never closes again. Once you open Pandora's box, it's a wrap. And every party that comes after that, and every group of Senate, folks, whoever has the majority at that point, will swing the hammer harder than the last time. And here's the part that they don't want you to really realize. It's not about progress. It's really about power. They want unchecked authority, and they'll call it democracy while they dismantle the very structure that protects it. So yeah, you can celebrate short-term wins if you want to. And if for whatever reason, Senate Republicans decide that, hey, we're going to get rid of the filibuster, yeah, it'd be a short-term win with potential long-term, catastrophic consequences. Because when the pendulum swings back, and it always does, you'll wish someone had kept that rule in place. You know it. I know it. Check this next clip out.
He won't be extorted. That's what Donald Trump is stating in his recent interview with 60 Minutes with CBS. Basically, he's stating this: he will not be extorted by the Democrats with the government shutdown. The Democrats want this. They want the extension of the Affordable Care Act and its subsidies. Allegedly, they want billions, even trillions of dollars to go to illegal immigrants. The Republicans, Trump administration is saying this: hey, let's reopen the government and let's renegotiate later. Y'all have to remember, the Democrats have voted 13 times against reopening the government. So people, they're saying that they may not receive SNAP benefits in the month of November, federal workers being laid off, is because of the Democrats. Now let's make America great again.
She's absolutely right. And the president did mention that. I want to play a quick little excerpt from the 60 Minutes interview. Y'all know what time it is with them. So, there's some ways that we got to go about doing this, but I think I figured out a way.
We are now approaching the longest shutdown in American history.
Democrats' fault.
Under your presidency, we're talking about more than 1 million federal workers who are not getting a paycheck, including our air traffic controllers. You see there's traffic snarls out at the airports now.
Sure.
This weekend, food aid for more than 42 million Americans is set to expire. What are you doing as president to end the shutdown?
All we're doing is we keep voting. I mean, the Republicans are voting almost unanimously to end it, and the Democrats keep voting against ending it. They've never had this. This has happened like 18 times before. The Democrats always voted for an extension, always saying, give us an extension, we'll work it out. They've lost their way. They become crazed lunatics. And all they have to do, Nora, is say, let's vote.
Senate Democrats say they will vote to reopen the government if Republicans agree to extend subsidies for over 20 million Americans who use Obamacare for their health insurance.
Obamacare is terrible. It's bad health care at far too high a price. We should fix that. We should fix it. And we can fix it with the Democrats. All they have to do is let the country open, and we'll fix it. They have to let the country open, and I'll sit down with the Democrats, and we'll fix it. But they have to let the country. And you know what they have to do? All they have to do is raise 5 hands. We don't need all of them.
But so you're saying your plan is to tell the Democrats to vote to end the shutdown.
Correct. Very simple.
And that you will put forward a health care plan?
No, we will work on fixing the bad health care that we have. Right now, we have terrible health care at too expensive for the people. Not for the government, for the people.
But, Mr. President, with all due respect, you've been...
People have to understand that the government workers, that is, the people that are a part of, Congress, not government workers, but Congress, your representatives, your Senate, those types of folks, they don't have to utilize the Affordable Care Act. They're on their own plans that are completely different, that have absolutely nothing to do with the ACA, which is ridiculous.
Talking about fixing the health care insurance
and you can't do it because of the Democrats.
But since 2015, you've said you'd fix it.
I've been talking about it for a long time. We almost did it. We were 1 vote short. We would have had great health care.
That was in 2017, when Senate Republicans failed by 1 vote to partially repeal Obamacare.
We can make it much less expensive for people and give them much better health care.
But where is that
plan? And I'd be willing to work with the Democrats on it. The problem is they want to give money to prisoners, to drug dealers, to all these millions of people that were allowed to come in with an open border from Biden. And nobody can do that. Not one Republican would ever do that.
My understanding is if those healthcare subsidies are not extended, premiums will double for many of the people that are on it. And I was looking into it. 3/4 of these people will see their healthcare premiums double. Live in states where you won in the last election. I mean, even here in Florida has the highest number of residents on Obamacare in the country.
And I'm saying we can fix it, Nora.
We keep it real. This really isn't about the ACA subsidies, right? This is really about they're funding their pet projects so they can launder their money back into their coffers. And it's also about healthcare for illegal immigrants. The president hit the nail on the head right there. They try to make it seem like, hey, it's these ACA subsidies that are due to expire at the end of this year. They had the house, they had everything last year, and they could have pretty much done anything that they wanted to do, and they chose not to extend them past this date of this year for this reason alone. They wanted to cause a stink so they can prepare themselves for this midterm next year. That's what this is about. But let's be real when it comes to the so-called Affordable Care Act. It's not affordable. And to be honest with you, you guys know this, it's never been affordable. The average ACA plan costs almost $500 a month. And the only reason millions can afford it is because taxpayers are footing the bill through these subsidies. The law forces insurance companies to cover everything: maternity, mental health, even addiction treatment. Whether you use it or not, they have to cover it, which drives premiums up. Second, it banned insurers from turning away people with pre-existing conditions. I mean, overall, that's morally right, but financially, it means sicker people in the pool, higher costs for everyone else. Third, young, healthy people don't buy in because it's too expensive. So the pool gets older and more expensive every year. So what did Washington do? Their plan was, hey, we'll just give them more money in these quote unquote subsidies. Right now, that number is up to $800 billion a year in subsidies. Yeah, they papered over the problems. They papered over the problems, adding these subsidies with your tax dollars instead of actually fixing the system. And the truth is, Obamacare did not make healthcare cheaper. It just shifted the bill from the patient to the taxpayer. That's not what I would call affordability. That's what you would call accounting magic. And these people don't want to do anything about it because, again, they probably are getting kickbacks. Simple as that. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. The link's in the description box below. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Join us Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. Check out the new channel, The Late Shift Crew, on YouTube. Come check us out on Wednesday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come check us out and join us every day, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And if it's your first time, please let us know in the chat so we can properly welcome you. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.